going on, and then I will do a separate video about buying a house. And I also plan to do kind of like a neighborhood gossip video. I always really love watching those. And I don't really know my neighbors yet, but I have some first impressions that I thought might be fun to share. So, first off, I am in my house. I am fairly settled. My parents came over for 10 days and we managed to unpack almost all boxes. I think the only area that still has unpacked boxes is my office. And I've got some unpacked suitcases in the big spare bedroom. They're not so much unpacked. They've just got like clothes in them that need to be washed, like bathing suits and stuff, and summer clothes that I just don't currently wear. I still need to wash those because they smell a bit musty after spending 2 months in a suitcase. But other than that, I'm pretty much settled. The only problem with recording at the moment is that I still live on a construction site, which I knew that would be the case. I think they're going to be here until probably the end of the year. So, the estate that I bought a house in has 48 houses in total, but only 14 so far have gotten their keys. And actually one of them is the show house, so that doesn't even have keys yet, but there are like 14 that are finished, and then there's a fence, and then the rest is still being built. So they're still building the majority of the houses, and from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. it's loud. And not so much that it bothers me. Like, I find that my house is actually really well insulated and fairly quiet, but a microphone picks up everything. I can hear like the bus going by on the main road, and it's never but it's fine now. Today is St. Patrick's Day. I'm wearing my Ireland sweater, or cardigan I should say. So it's a bank holiday, so there's no construction going on. There's not even a lot of people in the estate because they've all, I think, gone into town for the parade. And it's pretty quiet so far. But at the weekends, there's a lot of movement around because people are moving in. People are getting work done in their houses. So it's just been busy around here. So far, I think out of the 14 houses here with the show house, there's only 2 that are not occupied yet, and one of them is right next to mine. I do think my neighbor is preparing to move in. She's been getting work done like once a week since I live here, so since like mid-January. But this week she's been here every day, and she's also been getting work done every day. So I kind of expected her to move in today because it's a bank holiday, but she's not. So I'll be curious to see if she moves in this weekend. Part of me is kind of sad because it's so quiet without a neighbor. But part of me is like, okay, you bought a semi-detached house. You knew that this was going to be the case. So it's all good. She was getting a lot of work done yesterday, including drilling and all that. And in fairness, aside from the drilling, which I didn't even hear that loudly, I didn't hear anything that was going on in the house. So I think it'll be quiet enough. But yeah, so far at night it's been really quiet because I still don't have a neighbor. But yeah, I moved January 14th. And would you believe it? For the first time in 3 years, I got COVID. My friend who helped me move had COVID, and he was coughing all weekend. He was here both Saturday and Sunday. I got some friends to help me move, and we rented a van, but this friend wasn't actually moving with me. He was installing a bunch of things. And he was coughing the whole weekend, but he had had a cold 2 weeks prior, and he assumed that he was still coughing as kind of a leftover from that. But it was way worse on Sunday than it was on Saturday, so he called me Sunday night. It was like, I'm really sorry, but I just tested positive for COVID. So you might want to, test. And I was like, there's no way I didn't get it, because we spent the whole weekend together in very close proximity. Like, he installed my shower door, and I was holding it up while he was installing like the wheels and the handles and stuff on it, and that was like an hour. So we just, like, I knew that there was no way I didn't get it. So then I started feeling kind of sick on Monday. I'm assuming I got it from him on Saturday already, because I felt sick quite early on. And then on Tuesday I had a fever. I was still testing negative, but I had a fever in the evening and felt lousy. And then Wednesday I tested positive. So I got nothing done for like 2 weeks because I just felt miserable. I tested positive for a really long time. I still tested positive on day 12, at which point I stopped testing. The health website says you're not supposed to test anymore after day 10, because you can test positive for quite a while, but you're not contagious anymore after day 10. So I did stop, but I was after day 12. But I was still testing positive, and I still kind of felt it, like I had a very stuffed up nose for that whole time. So that delayed a lot of me kind of getting settled in the house, because I was miserable. After having just moved in, but it's fine. I'm settled now. The builders have been incredible. They have actually installed a lot of stuff for me. Like, while my parents were here, my dad assembled some bathroom cabinets from IKEA, but he had problems hanging them up because the area above the sink is all drywall. And he's like, I can't get any screws to actually hold. But also, because it's drywall and the cabinets are fairly heavy, he's like, I'm worried they're just gonna fall down. So I contacted the foreman. The foreman is like always around, and said, could I get someone to come and take a look at this? And he sent the carpenter over, and he installed the bathroom cabinet for me. He cut out a piece of the drywall, put a wooden board behind it, and then attached the cabinet to that. He also moved a wire that was meant to install a light above the cabinet so that I could still access that. And then 3 weeks later, when the second cabinet was ready, because I've had a lot of problems with IKEA, like, I've had a lot of parts missing, and like from the second cabinet, the mirror on one of the doors was cracked, so my dad put the cabinet together minus the doors. I was waiting for them to send me a replacement. And then the carpenter came back and hung up that one as well. The electrician installed a light fixture for me. They repainted my skirting boards and my walls for free. Like, when I had a floor put in, they had to take off the skirting boards. And when they put them back on, you could, they had to nail them back in so you could see all the nails. And the foreman was in my house because I had an issue with the plumbing. And he looked at it and said, oh, I'll get those repainted. And I said, no, that's fine. Like, the floor guy did it. Like, it's not on you to repaint it. And he they said, no, we're doing it for other people, it's fine. And like 2 or 3 weeks later, the painter came in, repainted cracks in the wall and the skirting boards and all that. I'll talk about that in the house buying video, but there are like cracks appearing every now and then. A friend of mine bought a new house, a new build, like 5 years ago, and said that'll happen for about a year because the house settles, so the paint expands and cracks keep appearing. I believe it's in my contract that the builder has to fix them for up to a year, but they're gonna be here for a year anyway, so I'm lucky in that regard. It's a bit noisy, but at the same time, if there's anything wrong with my house, I can just pull one in and they fix it right there, so very lucky in that regard. So yeah, I love it. I am planning to film a furnished house tour soon. I would just like to get the office sorted a bit more. But other than that, I think I'll film it soon. I completely forgot to film an unfurnished house tour, so that's not happening. But I'll do a furnished one soon. And yeah, that's really it in terms of kind of where I've been and what I've been doing. I can't even remember when the last time was that I uploaded a video. I know that it was way before my birthday, so I did have my birthday in November. It was the big one. I genuinely have a hard time seeing the numbers, so I just tell people that I'm 39 plus 1 because it does not roll off my tongue very easily. I definitely struggle a little bit with aging for sure, but I had a great time. I went to Scotland for the weekend. I'm sure if you've been watching me for a while, some of you at least will know this, but I'm a very big Westlife fan. They are an Irish boy band. Well, I'll say I used to be a very big fan. I'm still a fan of theirs, but obviously they've gotten older. I got older. They took a break for like 8 years, and the like craziness is gone. But I still love watching them, and so they were giving a concert in Glasgow on my birthday. So my friend and I, who have gone to Westlife concerts together forever, and she's actually from Edinburgh, we got tickets for 2 nights. So we got front row seats on my birthday, and then we got seats in like the stalls on the night after, and it was amazing. It was so much fun. A lot of my other friends were there that we always went to concerts with together, and we had like a little reunion, and it was a lot of fun. One of the guys this is kind of gross, but you know, if you're a fan, you'll get it. One of the guys was like mopping his sweat with a towel, and then mopped his bandmate's sweat, and then threw the towel into the audience, and it landed right at my feet. So I obviously took it. I still have it. I haven't washed it yet. I probably should. You know how you're always like, I'm never gonna wash this, but it's a useless piece of junk if you don't wash it, because it's just got their sweat on it. But that was such a nice 39 plus 1 birthday gift. It was great. I mean, it was a really good weekend, and that's really kind of, yeah, that was kind of a big event last year. And then I went home for Christmas. This year I actually went to Belgium and not to Spain. My parents had their 50th wedding anniversary in December, and so they wanted to have like a little dinner for the family, and decided that they weren't going to go to Spain until January because it was just, they had to come back then early to do the dinner, and they just decided to go later. So I was there for the dinner, which was just really like my mom's siblings. my mom is the youngest of six. Her and they only had one brother. He unfortunately passed away about 10 years ago. So it's all my aunts, really, and then their husbands. So, and then my dad. Yeah, that's a complicated family situation, but it was all my aunts and their husbands, and then me and my brother. So it was just nice. I don't get to see my family that much because I obviously don't live in the same country, and my parents also no longer live in my hometown. They moved to the coast 2 years ago, which is like an hour and a half thereabouts away. So whenever I do go to Belgium now, I no longer visit all of my family because I don't really get the opportunity to. We typically go home like once when I'm there, and then we visit like certain family members, but not everyone. So it was nice to see everyone. And yeah, it's scary a little bit sometimes when you don't see them a lot, how much everyone has aged. I mean, my mom turns 70 this year, and she's the youngest of six. So all my other aunts and uncles are just older. There are some, in their 80s, and then when you don't see them every year, or you even see them once a year, the difference is huge at that age. Like, they age pretty quickly. So it's kind of shocking sometimes, I think, to see how old your family members are getting. But that's life, I've definitely gotten older. Which I feel like I am in pain most of the time. Currently, my back is really, really sore. I picked up groceries this morning, and as I was walking to the grocery store, something shot in my back, and it just seized up, and I had to stop walking for a second. It was like, and you know how it makes it hard to breathe? I had to wait for about 10 seconds before I could catch my breath, and then I just kind of powered through it. I got a water bottle when I came home, put it on my back. I took some painkillers, but I'm feeling it. And this is where I really need to do something about, I think, my overall health and fitness. So I have a standing desk that I've had for about 2 years now. I love it. I work standing up about 2 hours a day, because if you do it too long, it's not good for your back either. So I do it about 2 hours a day. But I've now bought an under-desk treadmill, which is just like a walking pad. It's not very big. It's not meant for running. It's just meant for walking. It has like a display on the pad itself, so you can keep an eye on what you're doing. But I'm really trying to it'll be delivered next week, and I'm really hoping to get like 10,000 steps in a day, because I need to do something about my fitness. Yeah, I'm just such a lazy person. I typically move from my bed to my couch, and that's kind of what I do all day. And that's not, it's not good for my physical health, but it's also not good for my mental health. So when I started moving, when I picked up my keys essentially early January, I got up at 7 every morning because I had to keep every day. I had either deliveries or companies measuring things up in the house, and they always came around 8, or the deliveries were between 8 and 5. So I had to be here from 8 onwards for the day. And while I didn't sleep much because my body isn't used to going to sleep early, I felt a lot better. And I was also able to do more. I got so much done in the mornings that I just felt great and so energetic. And so I would really, really love to get back into getting up at 7, because I've been slowly going back to how it used to be. I used to go to bed at 3 or 4 in the morning and get up at noon. needs to drastically improve. So I'm not getting up as late. I typically wake up naturally around 10, but it's later than I would like, and I would really love to get back up at 7. So I was thinking of maybe doing like a little daily vlog type thing where I just check in every morning, do like a whispered video between 5 and 10 minutes just to check in, have a little chat, and more so for myself to see how I get on and how I'm feeling, but also to motivate me to actually get up, because I managed to do it twice this week and then not anymore. And I don't know if you guys are really like interested in seeing a video from me every day, but I think I more just want to do it for myself to keep track and like force myself to get out of bed at 7. So I think I might do that. And then yeah, I think that's kind of it. I'll record some separate videos. I think that's kind of it. I do overall feel a lot better. I'm still struggling a little bit with anxiety, but I think that's always going to be there. I feel a lot less anxious. I've also changed my diet, or at least I'm starting with that since yesterday, really. I'm trying to cut out certain things and see if my digestive issues will improve, because as you guys know, I've had digestive issues for like 8 years, and I think they are a greatly contributing factor to my anxiety, and so I would like to resolve them before I try anything else. But overall, it's a lot better, and yeah, I think that's kind of it. So I think I'm just gonna leave it there, and I will record at least one more video today, maybe even 2, and then I have enough to upload for the next while. But I am really trying to record more. I've been dying to record for weeks, but every time I get a break at work and I'm like, well, I'm gonna sit down and record, the construction is too loud, and I know myself, if I wait until after 7 p.m. when they're done, I'm like exhausted from work, and just, yeah, the getting up late is not doing much for my energy levels. I feel kind of just sleepy the moment I wake up, and that lasts kind of all day. So, oh my god, I keep knocking into this box that my microphone is on. I'm sorry. No, I think I really need to start getting up at 7. I feel a lot more energetic then. I can also maybe record them, because I think construction, they're just getting started. Like the diggers going past and trucks driving past and stuff is not that bad yet in the early morning. It's more the trucks backing up that bothers me, because they make that beeping noise, and it even goes straight through my earplugs. Like there are some mornings that I'm just awake at 7, but then I refuse to get up, and then at like 7:30 I fall back asleep, but then I'm so in and out of sleep that I just wake up groggy. Because sometimes for half an hour straight, all I hear is beeps. I don't know what they're doing, that they're constantly going forward and then backing back up, because it's like a half hour straight of beeps. But that happens a lot. So yeah, there's just a lot of noise around, but I am really hoping to just record a bit more. And once my neighbor moves in, I think it'll be quieter at the weekends as well, because at this point, like I said, there's only 2 houses in this part that are unoccupied. The other one is directly across the street from me, but they don't even have a floor yet. And I don't think I'll be hearing noise noise from that anyway, aside from like fans and stuff pulling in. But whatever they're getting done inside their house, I shouldn't be hearing. So we'll see how it goes. Watch this space. But thank you all for your kind messages and asking me how I am. I'm well, and I hope that this is the kickstart to me just uploading regularly again, because I genuinely want to. Like last year, I was not feeling it. I was just not in a great space. I think trying to buy a house and just getting knocked back time and time again really kind of worked on my mood, and I was not in the mood to do anything. And every time I thought about recording a video, I was like, no, don't want to talk. I just wasn't feeling it. But that's not the case anymore. I really, really want to get back into my channel. So here's hoping that it all goes well. So anyway, I'm definitely ending it here now. Thank you all for sticking with me and for all of your messages. Happy St. Patrick's Day. If you celebrate, I know in the US, people celebrate it more even than people in Ireland do. So if you've got any festivities going on, I hope you enjoy them. Gentle reminder that it is patties with 2 D's and not patties with 2 T's. That's something I'm trying to teach all Americans because most say it wrong. Patrick in Irish is Porrick, which is written with a D. So the abbreviation is Paddy with 2 D's. Patty is a woman's name and is also a burger. So that's not how it is. So thank you, everyone. Hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you in my next